This is a video that I am always happy to make because it involves planning, homeschool planning to be specific. So I'm just gonna lay out my homeschool plans for you for the week, and what better way to kick off the new year than to get organized and prepared so you can get your coffee, you can get your own planner out and plan with me. Let's get to it. Hi everyone, thanks for being here. My name is Trisha at Juicebox Homeschool. Today we are going to plan a week of homeschooling together. With homeschooling 3 kids and working on the side, it really helps me to have a plan to follow. So during the week, I don't have to make too many decisions. It's all laid out for me and I can use that decision energy towards other things. So the first thing I normally do, first of all, let me backtrack. This is a planner from An Advanced Paper Co. And the layout that I chose, all the customizations, because you can customize a bunch of things, it is on my blog, which I will link below. I detailed my exact order just for reference. I have a bunch of highlighters and pens and things like this that I love to use for planning, but this has been my go-to lately. This is the set from Mr. Pen. I tend to go for the muted colors. These are not as muted, but I find that's what I'm kind of drawn to. So I tend to pick these. So planning and scheduling is something that I've always kind of been drawn to, find enjoyment in. A lot of my jobs in the past are detail-oriented, admin-minded. My spiritual gift is admin, and so I think that has a lot to do with this. There's a lot of planners out there that are like straightforward, all labeled for you, and I wouldn't mind that either. I use a home planner that's all dated and ready to just fill in for me, but for this homeschool planner, I just really find joy in just the whole idea of crafting the plan for the family. First thing I'm going to do is just set up the week so that it's just easy to fill in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So here on the far left column, I just labeled it based on our subjects. So I have a family tab, math, reading, writing, science, history, and a loop schedule. Now up top, I'm gonna go ahead and write the days of the week. So now that I have the tabs labeled by subjects, days of the week, and the date, then I will go through our family calendar and see if there are any appointments coming up, if there's anything for a particular kid, an appointment or something that I need to account a time for. And then I will go ahead and write down anything that is happening. So on this particular week, I saw that Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I saw my husband has a potential like jury duty. I'm not going to write that down here. My girls have a dance convention and my son is going on a youth ministry retreat. That's important to note for school because that will affect our schedule for that week. So now that we kind of know the family schedule and how that might affect our homeschool schedule, then I will start color coding and make it easy for me to fill out their assignments here. I went ahead and filled this week out with the color coded. So this is for my high schooler, this is for my 6th grader, and this is for my 3rd grader. And so I put little check boxes for days and areas they're gonna do each subject. If you see like this day does not have a green, my little ones are not doing science that day, then it's just fill in the blank. So I went ahead and started writing down my son's independent reading. He is reading a book called Big Red. Here is the book. Let me just see how long the chapters are. I'm gonna have him read a chapter a day, just continue on, so 5 through 10. So I'm just gonna have him read 4 chapters and give him a day of catch up in case he needs that. So this will be my son's independent reading. He's also reading the Book of Marvels just once a week. My youngest daughter is reading Annabelle Hedgehog. I really need to look at the actual title of that book. That might be it. But she'll read a chapter a day here. And then she's also reading a chapter of the Christian Liberty books. They're nature books and very short chapters, some illustrations. She'll read that just twice a week, and I'll let her pick whatever day she wants to read those. My 9th grader, I'm going to have her... Oh, the book that she's reading with me is Eat That Frog, which I had shown in a previous video. So this is that book. Very short chapters. It's helpful to me too. This is something that we'll read together twice a week. We are part of a charter school. With a charter school, we turn in work samples once a month. 8th grade and under, they require one subject work sample per month. For kids in high school, they require work samples in each subject. And so that does take some prep, even though she does a lot of work, but the work sample needs to be structured in a specific way so that it's really clear the way the work is presented, name and date and the subject, and it needs to fulfill one of the requirements. I do have her take some time to work on her monthly work samples so that when it's due, we can turn it in early. That's something I have her work on weekly, just so that it's not a stressor when the due date comes. Another thing I have her do weekly is fill out a dance log. One of her high school courses is Dance 1A. The nice thing is she dances on a competitive team. We just need to log her hours, follow some of the guidelines from the high school course. It's pretty simple. She dances anyways, so she basically needs to just log her hours. So I just put it in here as a reminder so that she doesn't forget to log those hours and she can get credit for that. She easily meets the requirement, I don't know, 4 or 5 times over what the amount of hours that they want her to do to complete the course. And so that's just an easy course to get credit from because it's something she's already doing anyways, but we just need to be diligent about the admin. And that's something I would say for charter schools, a lot of it is easy, at least for our family. It works fine and it works well with our schedule and how we want to homeschool. The main thing is just for me to be on top of the admin part of it, to be organized, to be able to keep up with whatever paperwork they're asking for. It's not much, but it does take some forethought. So this kind of just helps keep me on track because high school is no joke. There's a lot more required versus elementary school. I want to make sure that I'm on top of all of that. And so this kind of just is like my weekly reminder to check in on those things. So now we can fill out the core subjects. So for family studies, I usually just look on the week before. So we will do our Bible study, which we'll do every day. I'll write that down. And then each day will alternate with different things. So Monday is typically fitness. Tuesday, I'm going to do Taking Asia. Here's Taking Asia for Jesus. This is what we've been working on. I will read this aloud, sometimes just to my youngest, who this is level 4, so it's geared toward her level. But this is kind of a lot of things in here my other kids have not been exposed to. And so we are sometimes reading it together. So I'll put it in our morning time prayer points. I love this. And it just goes through each country in Asia, prominent people, cities, landmarks, and landscapes. This has been really good. I highly recommend taking a look at this one. Wednesday is when we typically do nutrition. Thursday is artist study. We will also do Generous Family, which is our habit training curriculum, and also we will do World Watch News for current event, which is a 10-minute daily video that has been great for us. And then I added read aloud at the bottom. And now some of these are repetitive. Like I'm kind of tempted to just write like morning and check that off as one thing. But typically on a normal weekday homeschool morning, my mind is filled with so many things. I have so many things in front of me. I have an email box waiting for me, or a budget that I need to take care of, or something for work that I need to get done that day. I just have a lot of things going on inside of my mind that having it all laid out in front of me like this, it makes things so so much smoother. So when I'm trying to plot, like, what am I going to do next, it's really easy because it's all laid out for me here. And I can see maybe I need to take care of an email really quick. So I'm going to pick something from here that's a little more independent, like World Watch News or something like that. Why do I write it out? It's because of that, because I know now is a time where my brain is clear. I can write things down and think clearly. But when I'm in the moment homeschooling, this has saved me so many times from having kids have to wait for me, or me just having to flip through books and not know where do we last leave off, what's my plan for today, let's read until what page. So I just personally function better with this kind of a plan laid out. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and fill out math. My high schooler is taking a geometry course, so I'm just going to write geometry all the way across. My other two kids, I alternate between Right Start and a supplemental math. One really cool thing our charter school is offering this year is free tutoring for 1 hour a week per child. So I've already started with my son. I've started him doing 1 hour a week on Tuesdays. I just have to prepare like what it would be that they would work on. Currently, we're doing a reading comprehension worksheet from Evan Moore. I'll just scan those pages for the tutor, and then he'll also work through an apology and math lesson. That has been really great. Why would a homeschool teacher use a tutor? Well, for us, it helps so much. For one, it is someone else working with your kid, which is always nice to just have variety. I feel the same way with a lot of things. I just sometimes need to mix things up to keep it fresh, to keep myself on my toes. Having an extra voice teach the same thing, it has been really helpful, and that leads to the obvious point. It's just having a break from that for a day. So I don't do math with him one-on-one. He'll do that with his tutor and then work on reading comprehension, which is something that we need to work on more. And I want to start that with tutoring with my daughter as well once a week, since it is free. It's part of what our charter school offers. So I found that to be a really helpful resource. Oh, I decided to do mostly apology and math for my youngest daughter this week because she is very close to being done, and we're at the point where it's like, you know, when you have those last few pages, and I know that it can be done soon. We're going full force with that right now. Okay, now for reading. For my high schooler, this is where I'll put like read with me or our apologetics. My younger two are working through learning language arts through literature. And they're actually really on track, a little bit ahead on this one. So we just do it 4 days a week. There is a review section after each week, and a lot of times my daughter will finish it in the 4 days. My son will usually take the 5th day. My younger two are doing IEW, Fix-It, and Cursive, so we'll do kind of a combo of each depending on the day. For science, my high schooler is taking biology honors. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And my younger two are working through chemistry with Apologia. History for my high schooler is with Knotgrass. We're doing Exploring World History, and that's been working really well. She will read it on her own. She'll read the text on her own, and then there are some review questions. She'll do that on her own, and then we'll meet together. Every other day, we will go through the questions, any extra reading that they have. But it's been great to have that touch point throughout the week just to go over and see how she's doing, making sure she's following through with the assignments. Okay, and then for history and geography, we're using Beautiful Feet book, continuing on with Pocahontas and the Strangers, and then moving into the Landing of the Pilgrims. I think I'm just gonna, for this week, write down history and geography and not write specific assignments, which has been working out for me lately. I'll just open the teacher guide to basically the next lesson, like where we're at. So it'll be this, which is Daniel Boone. Let me show you that book. It's so pretty. Here's the book from Beautiful Feet Books about Daniel Boone. This is one we'll be reading. Such a neat book. And then Wednesday is our geography day. I don't know what we'll have time for our morning time as a family, but I would like to do at least one thing. So it'll be most likely Bible or World Watch News. So for the loop schedule, that's the last thing for my daughter here. I tend to put watercolor on Tuesday, as that's her lightest day of after school activities. Then the other days she can fill in with what like she has to do, like she's learning to play the guitar and other art projects. For loop schedule for my younger kids, we'll do instruments. So I'll do piano for one, kind of alternate, has been helpful. We'll do Yellow Spot Sun art on Wednesday for both. They can do that together. Piano, we'll do foreign language And then on Thursday, we can do Skillshare. And then this is the book that we'll be reading aloud for our family time together. Really looking forward to this one. These are just sticky notes that I use. So a lot of times I'll take one of these during the week or the week before. Something will come up that I need to remember. You know, usually it's a list of books I need to pick up from the library, some to-dos, or usually it's a list of books that I need to pick up from the library for the following week, or it could be a note to myself to remember for when I plan for the next week. So I like that it's sticky. I can take this with me to the library, stick it in my purse. I can plop this over to the following week if it's a note for me to remember for the following week. This has been really helpful. I don't always use it. I'll just move it over to the next week if I didn't use it. So there is the week planned out for me. Homeschool week, Monday through Friday, a very light Friday based on the activities here. I hope this is helpful to just get inspired. Everyone finds their way with whatever planner works for them, and homeschool planning can be so much fun. I think a big part of it is just really crafting the day for your family, crafting the week, and putting things together that you think might work. And over time, you definitely get a better idea of what flows well for your family rhythm, for your family lifestyle that you want for your kids, the goals you have for them educationally, books that you want them to read. There's just so much that gets refined throughout the years. And in our 10th year of homeschool, we're still constantly refining and revising as we go along, as we figure out what works best for our kids, and what works in one season doesn't always work in the next. Especially lately, I am finding myself really reevaluating a lot of things and just trying to keep up with the growth that we're experiencing, which is a great thing. It just requires some change and some adaptations. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you enjoy these types of planning videos, if it's helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment below. I really appreciate those of you who have left me encouraging messages. A lot of times when I make these videos, it's based off of questions and DMs I get on Instagram, and so not always sure, like, is this really helpful? But I only want to make things that are helpful for you. So I appreciate your words of encouragement, and just your presence here is really valued. The homeschool community is stronger than ever, and I am so grateful to be a part of it, because once upon a time, I didn't have many people to talk to about homeschooling, and to have a community to be able to fellowship with and discuss all of these random homeschool things that concern me very much, but to a normal friend outside of this community, it's like nonsense. And so I'm really grateful for you being here. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.